Energy and Commerce Committee, Mr. Dingell from Michigan for 5 minutes.
Questions will be directed at you. Sounds like the Medicare secondary payer reimbursement process is lengthy, burdensome, and complex for beneficiaries and attorneys to navigate. Why doesn't Medicare pursue reimbursement from the primary payment or primary payer directly?
Congressman Dingell, my hunch on that would be from a cost efficiency standpoint, it's more cost effective for Medicare to recover money in a passive manner as opposed to direct intervention in pursuit of claims.
All right. Now, what happens if beneficiaries decide they don't want to pursue claims? For example, if an 89-year-old woman broke her leg in a car accident and then decided not to file an insurance claim or pursue any other form of recompense, wouldn't Medicare then be stuck with all the bills without any form of reimbursement?
In practical
that's a very real
reality,
problem, isn't it?
It is.
All right. Now, and I'm sorry to hurry you, but time here is limited. It's my understanding from your testimony that if you are unable to reimburse Medicare until after the parties have reached a settlement, you have a final demand letter from CMS, and those often take many months or even years to get. Is this the case? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what happens to the beneficiary's settlement money in the intervening time? Is the beneficiary able to access the money?
No.
In your experience from working on such cases, how long is the settlement money typically in limbo before Medicare is reimbursed?
A short period of time would be 3 or 4 months. A typical period of time is probably 6 to 9 months or longer.
Now, you and I are both attorneys, and I'm sort of curious. As a fellow attorney, how does this affect the attorney-client relationship?
It creates significant problems with the attorney-client relationship.
Now, the next question is to you again, Mr. Matsys, Mr. Sam, and Mr. Gilliam. Mr. Matsys, Mr. Sam, and Mr. Gilliam, has your business or other businesses similar to yours incurred additional costs as a result of lengthy and burdensome Medicare secondary payment reimbursement process? Yes or no?
A big yes.
Mr. Sam.
Sorry.
Yes, we have.
Okay. Mr. Matsys?
Yes.
Mr. Gilliam?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what effects have these costs had on your business? Starting with Mr. Sam, Mr. Gilliam, and then Mr. Matsys.
The first effect we've had is we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in an attempt to get Medicare the data that they need in the workers' comp setting. The second effect it's had is delayed the resolution of liability claims while we've been waiting to figure out what Medicare's number is and get the money to Medicare. The longer a case stays open, the more the case costs somebody like public supermarkets, and the slower it is to get to the beneficiaries.
So it hurts both. It hurts most everybody involved.
Yeah, it absolutely. It hurts. It hurts the primary company like Publix. It hurts an insurance company like Cincinnati. It hurts the plaintiff's attorney, who's waiting to get his money and to deal with his client. And of course, it hurts the person that we're all talking about here, the beneficiary, because these are people who are waiting for their money in a liability claim situation.
All right, Mr. Gilliam, your additional comments.
Yes. We've incurred hundreds of thousands, if not millions, complying with this reporting manual, trying to collect the data and keep it safe from hackers so we can report it. It so delays the claim settlement process. And at my company, we have a philosophy. We're in the claims-paying business. We like to speedily end claims. We don't like to have people upset that they're waiting. And the longer we have to keep a file open, the more it costs us and takes our adjusters away from handling current claims as they shepherd these old claims.
Mr. Matsys?
Congressman, more important than the cost to our firm are the costs and the financial consequences as well as the emotional consequences to Medicare beneficiaries. While putting more work and time into the case does increase our cost, most importantly, the significant costs are by the delay are borne by the Medicare beneficiaries.
Thank you. Now, the last question, gentlemen. What expectations do you have for the future if costs associated with Medicare secondary payment reimbursements remain the same or increase? In other words, what does the future hold if costs remain the same or increase? And don't be shy.
The nightmare continues and gets worse. We end up spending all of our time dealing with computers and being on the phone for an hour and a half when we could be helping people.
Now, we also have reason to think that it will probably increase over time, do we not? And that means there will be a multiplier effect take place, does it not?
Well, if they would simply start over and ask us what kind of data do we already collect, we might already have the data they want, but they ask us to collect all this ridiculous data that doesn't really help them identify who owes them money. Talk to us about what we already have, and maybe we already have it.
My time has expired, and I thank the chair for it, but would you each submit to us, for purposes of the record, your suggestions about what should be done to correct this intolerable situation and to make it better from your standpoint, from the standpoint of the patients and the beneficiaries, and from the standpoint of the government, if you please. And I'd ask, Mr. Chairman, that the record remain open for that purpose.
All right, the gentleman